Well, I will stop the recording until we are ready to start. Hello, everyone from the Eastern Shore. Thanks for joining us for the Shore Gives 365 platform training today. I'm MK Holiday. I'm with Mighty Cause, who is the technology partner with the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore to host the Shore Gives 365 platform. And then you probably all know Lauren already.
Hi, in case anyone doesn't, I'm Lauren Anstead. I'm with the Community Foundation, and we also have Shelby Thompson on with us, and the two of us will be monitoring chats today.
Yeah, and I am going to talk through a few items with you all today, going more in depth on the platform. I know that you've already done a training that was about registration and kind of getting started on the platform. And so this is kind of like a 2.0 of talking through some more like nitty gritty details of the technology side of things. So like navigating your dashboard, this to-do list, what is it? How do I complete it? What's included on it? Some elements of building out your profile to kind of tell your story as custom branded as you'd like. Again, like using the donation form to also tell your story and provide donors directions with how to make an impactful gift for your organization. We'll also look at the disbursement settings so that you can set yourselves up to receive EFT transfers from the disbursement process. And then also talk about matching grants, which is a great fundraising tool on the platform that can be used any time of the year. Okay, so I'm going to go through. I have slides for the topics we talked about, and then for quite a few of them, I'm going to kind of bounce over to one of the tabs in my browser that you see and do a demo so that I can show you, hey, it is as simple as a screenshot that I took. I know some people like to see like a screenshot and it helps them learn a little bit better. So I went that route, and then we will do a demo so that you can see it in real life. You can follow along if you're logged into the platform yourself. But the first item like that we can cover is, okay, I'm on shoregives365.org. I have set up my registration, you know, or I have set up my user account. What do I do next? Once I'm connected to my organization, how do I navigate the platform? So the first place you'll always land when you log in is, this is an example of Community Foundation of the Eastern Shores organization dashboard. But you will see the dashboard is what we at Mighty Cause call all of the navigation items on the left-hand side. So overview is where you'll always land when you log in. And from there, you'll be able to see at a glance, and it's kind of colored to tell you if you're registered, it's green. So this message says your organization is registered for ShoreGives 365 platform. You might see one that says your registration is incomplete or that your to-do list needs to be completed. And so those will show up messages on this overview area. It also shows announcements that are coming to you from CFES. Also, it'll show you a variety of metrics. As seen in this screenshot, it shows you, for instance, online donations for the last 30 days, unique donors for the last 30 days. But you can change those to not just be the last 30 days, but to do a different time period. You can export those overview metrics at a glance. Maybe you need to give an update to a board member or an internal meeting, so you'll be able to get that data out of there. And then you'll see at the top, I put a box around the word to do. So that is where you find the to-do list, whether you're on this overview tab on the left, whether you click down to your organization page, which is where you edit your profile, whether you're looking at one of the fundraising tools or looking at a donation report under reports, you'll always see the to do in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, so you can always navigate to it. So let me show you that in real life. So here I am on our demo site, and I'm on the Animal Humane Society on the overview page. And as you'll see, this one, for instance, which is what a lot of you might see when you log in, says your organization setup is incomplete. See to-do list. So I can either click see to-do list here. It'll bring up this yellow sticky note. I can see the to-do up here, the little red dot indicates that I have not completed all of my required items. If I click on it, you'll get the yellow sticky note. You see the option to open a detailed to-do list. And here we have some items. Let me get into that a little bit more. Sorry, after I show you some more about navigating the dashboard. I got excited about the to-do list. You'll see the metrics for, like I mentioned, online donations, unique donors, retention, how much has been raised online. You can do the last 12 months, the year to date, the last 90 days. You will see a graph, a bar chart of dollars that have come in, dollars raised, or organization page views. So how many people have landed on your page in the last 2 weeks? So there's some different elements that you can look at here. You will see on your dashboard that you can navigate to your organization page, which is where you edit and build out your profile. You will see supporters and contacts are part of the demo site, but those will show up as like a feature subscription for you, so you won't see those. You'll see fundraising tools. You'll have campaigns where you see your peer-to-peer fundraisers. You'll see embeds where you can see embeddable donation forms. Sorry, it's taking a minute to load. Okay, well the embed isn't loading, so I will try that again. But you'll see matching grants. This is where you can add matching grants. You will see reports, and if you click on reports, you'll see the different kinds of reports you can look at: offline gifts, recurring donations, all donations. You'll see checkout, which is where we'll talk about our donation form and our thank you page later on the webinar. You'll see settings, where you'll see some things like where you can do your social share settings, or where you can specify what you want your URL to be. Like this one is /Animal Humane Society, but if they wanted to change it to a different URL, they could do that in settings. We'll also touch on this disbursement settings, which is where you can sign yourself up for EFT disbursements. They happen twice a month on the Mighty Cause platform on ShoreGives 365. So that's the dashboard. It's everything on the left. You navigate through all of it. Should be pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to support@mightycause.com. They will answer any type of question. Also, you'll notice that as you're on the platform, in the lower right-hand corner is the question mark. That is a link to our support center and our support team. So you can, it is smart and it will know where you're at on your dashboard and suggest articles for you that are based on where you're at on the dashboard. And then it also gives you an option to submit a ticket to the support team or to do that via email. Okay, so as I sort of started getting into, we have the dashboard. To go into more detail on the dashboard was the to-do list. I showed you where you can access that. And the point of the to-do list is that it helps the CFES team gain visibility into your organization profile. They want to make sure that they have collected from you required items that they think best showcase your organization on the platform and that give them the information they need to approve your participation. So the to-do list, as you'll see in the screenshot, there are a couple of required items, and those all need to have a blue check in order to be considered for registration approval. It's not a very complex list of things that you need to do, but the required items include an organization logo, a banner image, an about section, a contact email, the thank you page, which I will show you, and designating one of your users, at least one user, as the admin lead contact. So all of those need to be checked and to be considered for approval. And then there are some recommended items that are optional that we think will help display your profile well, which are including a mission statement, a needs statement, a website, social media, and doing your EFT setup. So those recommended items are not required to be approved to participate, but if you want to go back to them, if you want to do those while you're setting up the required items, or you want to come back to them later, you can always do that. And as I showed you, the to-do list is up here on the top left-hand side. If you have items to do on your to-do list, they will show up here on in the overview area. The nice part about the to-do list is that when you click on it, it will take you to where you need to go to do that item. So the thank you page, if you need to set that up, you'd click on thank you page and it takes you to the thank you page. So all of the items in the to-do list are hyperlinked to the areas in the platform where you can submit that information. Okay, so customizing your organization page, how to build your profile, tell your story, build your brand. Um, your organization profile is, we will look at it. It is under the organization page. We'll demo that. But the organization profile is the front-facing public page that will be displayed to your donors. The navigation item that shows up if you collapse that, you'll see your organization page as it's going to show publicly. You have the ability to edit on screen, so you'll see your changes as they're made. You'll see your information as it's entered. It has a lot of the ability to customize the look and feel, and also telling a really good story about why donors should give to your cause. You can do things that are more aesthetics and kind of branding, such as editing your background banner image, your theme color. So maybe you want to change it to your own branded colors for your organization. So you can set that for your whole page. It also takes your logo, which requires a 1-to-1 aspect ratio. So if you need to, just maybe open it up in Canva and block it out to a 1-by-1 so that it will render correctly on your profile. We have our About section, which is where you really get to tell your story. It has a WYSIWYG editor, one of those what you see is what you get editors. So it allows you to do like all of the font formatting, to add bulleted lists or ordered lists, to do paragraph or header settings, to embed images or a video, hyperlinks, a call to action. So you can add as much to this as you have time and would like to build it out. We also have, you'll see to the right on this one, it says custom tab. So the custom tab is where you can go to maybe add elements about like what's going on programmatically at your organization right now that you want people to read about. So it's kind of like a second page on your own personal landing page website. We also have a media gallery that's really impactful. People like to see who they're giving to. They like to see the organization, the people that are involved, the people that are benefiting, or the animals, or the computers, the horses, whatever it is. People give to pictures. They're impactful. So you can add in pictures from your computer or from Facebook or Instagram. Um, Also, an element that we'll touch on is optimizing your social share settings so that it's sharing an image of your choosing when people share social media and it has the text that you want to display.
MK,
Yeah.
we had a question. Is there a limit on how big the video can be? I think there's not, but I wasn't sure.
I'm not aware of one.
Right. Because they upload it to YouTube and collect and connect the link, right?
Yep, they collect the link. They're not uploading the image itself, or
Right.
they're
The-
uploading the image, but they're not uploading the video itself.
right. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so if you'd like to see your profile, you'll come to the organization page. You can collapse the dashboard. You can see if you toggle off of the edit view. This is starting with the banner image. This is what your profile is does look like as soon as your organization is approved. It will show you, and again, sorry, this is our demo system, but I wanted to show you something with a lot of information in it already. So if you go to the edit mode, you'll notice there's this quick edit area where it'll jump you down to a bunch of like initial things that you might want to consider updating. When you're on the edit mode, anything that has a little gray icon means that you can update that or edit that or add something or change a color or add a button. So you'll be able to do things like setting your own goal for like the goal of the Animal Humane Society is to raise 1.6 million. It'll show you progress of what you've raised towards your goal, and you can set up what you want your goal to be, what metrics you want to display. It'll show you like a quick look if you have a matching grant set up. This one says, oh, there's one live match right now. If there were two, it'd be multiple cards and show that you had two matches. With your about section, like I said, which you could like as simple as copy and paste from a Word article onto the page, bring something over from your website. You can, embed images like I mentioned, although if you get more than a couple in this section, I would recommend also using the multimedia gallery. Uh, you could like have a button for join our email list. So how to recruit donors into getting more information from your organization. You can have a giving activity wall, so it'll show who gave and how much, provided they didn't anonymize that on the donation form. You could also, if you wanted to, optional highlight some peer-to-peer fundraisers that are on behalf of your organization. You could, again, add your multimedia. There's not a limit to how much media you can add. You'll see that there's a matches section, so any live matches will display in the tiles under the matches area. And then as the donor keeps scrolling down, they're really invested now. They're going to see more organization data that was added when you filled out your profile. Not the documents, but it'll have the summary and it'll have like your cause area and your website and maybe your social media links. So that's just kind of like the basics of the organization data. If someone gets down that far, they probably really want to contact you. So again, yep, the organization profile is as easy as I'm going to change this image. So I just click on the gray icon and I can upload an image. It's as easy as I want to add to the about section. You just click into it, the WYSIWYG bar shows up and you can add what you'd like there. You can say, you know what, actually, I don't want the giving activity wall to display. You can hide that section and then it's gone. And when you turn it off of edit mode, you'll see that you don't see that that was an option anymore. So it just collapses your page. So whatever you choose to display, the page is made to display it well. Okay, so those are the profile elements. Part of the to-do list we looked at is the disbursement settings. So it said, I believe the to-do list says EFT setup. So if you go to EFT setup, it's going to take you to this disbursement settings page. And if you don't set up EFT, you will be issued a paper check every month with a $5 fee deducted from that. So we recommend setting up the EFT. EFT is also dispersed twice a month as opposed to once a month. And oops, sorry, I got ahead of myself. To do the EFT disbursements, you'll just type in your routing number and your account number, specify whether it's a checking account or a savings account, and then click the setup EFT. It is possible that our system might need a little more information to verify that, in which case support might reach out to you and ask for like an example of a bank statement or maybe a voided check that has your name, your organization name, your EIN, and the banking details on it. But it is really straightforward. It's easy to find. If you are on your to-do list and you click EFT setup, it's going to take you right there, which is under settings, and it is the disbursement settings. And here you can specify your mailing address if you can only accept a paper check, or what we recommend is doing the direct payouts via EFT. Okay, so two of the once you're in your profile and you've been approved, you can actually customize your donation form. I'm also going to show you the thank you page. In the thank you page, you can edit now before you're registered, before you're finished registering, before you're approved to register, or before you're approved to participate. But the donation form itself is only available once you're approved and published on the website. So we don't want people to get confused that they're like, I set up a donation form. Why don't I have any donations? And so we're saying, okay, until you're approved to be published on the site, you don't have access to the donation form. You'll see it under here under checkout, but you can access that as soon as you're approved. And you can specify, for instance, whether you want on the donation form for it to default to a one-time donation or a recurring donation. So you could make it either one of those. You can add donation levels. So for example, the Animal Humane Society demo org, says, hey, look, at a $10 gift could have an impact of feeding a cat for 1 week, or $25 could provide 5 dogs with blankets. And so it's not necessarily like earmarking donations as being for a certain cause or a certain program or anything like that, but it's another way to tell your story, and do that kind of impact visioning of what can a donation do for your organization, and different size donations, what are the different impacts that they can have. And I think that does encourage donors to sometimes think about giving a bit more, because they're like, wow, if I gave $15 more, I could do all of this. And so donation levels are a great way to tell your story. Also, I will show you there is a designation section where you can add designations. So it defaults to show you, if you add the designation, to default to give the donation to a general fund, but you can also add in, for instance, programs, like I said, oh, program A versus B versus C. And you are able to, let's see, the donation form. So under checkout donation form, here's the one time or the monthly. If you click on that little blue icon, you'll see that you can default it to one time or monthly. You have your donation levels. It'll show up to 4 at once. You can add more. You will see the anonymous settings that are available on the platform. So those are set by CFES, but you will see those. You can decide whether or not you want someone to be able to add a dedication. I think we have that defaulted on your platform. To add a designation, it'll look like this for you. It says add designation section. Okay, so if you want to add a designation section, you'd click on that button. You'd see this organization has general fund, which everyone will have. They added cats, so they can maybe add, if you want to add some different designations, you'll just click on the icon to edit and click edit, and then you'll be able to add your different designations here. So maybe they are different programs, or maybe it's a, a an initiative or a capital campaign or something like that, but you can add designation options there. Another great part about customizing your donation flow, besides the donation form, is the thank you page. So if I click on the thank you page, you will see this is the screen that the donor is going to see when they give to your organization, whether they check out with an individual organization or whether they fill their cart full of organizations that they want to donate to. It will notify them that the receipt has been emailed. So again, the platform will initiate the receipt. You don't have to do anything with that. You just want to do the donor stewardship of thanking your donor. So it'll show that the giving event on the demo is called Big Giving Day, but this will say Shore Gives 365 has added content to this page. So they have put in basic host language about a thank you message. And then below that, there will be a custom thank you message from each of the organizations that was in that cart or that donation that the donor made. And so you'll see here, we have that full inline editor or content online editor where you can put in text, you can add some images or a video. Maybe it's a program recipient saying, thank you so much, donor. You've helped us, buy 5 books for our library or something. And you can, add one of those kind of personal storytelling moments to really help with your donor stewardship. Okay, I want to talk about matching grants, and then we can get into other items that might be of interest. But matching grants uh, are a way to help you incentivize donors that are coming to your page, because by having a matching grant, their dollars are going to go farther, and it'll also leverage these larger gifts, the matching grants, incentivizing donors to help you receive those grants. So to create a matching grant, you would go to your organization dashboard. Under fundraising tools, you'll see matching grants. And so you'll click matching grants. And from there, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner a create button. The page itself shows you all live matches, any matches that are upcoming. So maybe they're occurring on a different day, a different quarter, a different month. It'll show you any past matches and the ability to report on those matches. So, how much of it was met, who donated, whose donations were matched, all of that type of thing. Um, so yeah, this is kind of like a one-stop shop to see everything about matching grants. It lets you download donations. It lets you manage and reconcile your matching grants. When you are on the matching grant page, again, if you go to that support button in the lower right-hand corner, it's going to give you a selection of support articles about matching grants. Also, the Mighty Cause support team are experts at helping people decide how to enter a matching grant, which options to choose, how to make it the most impactful. We have the ability to do two different types of matches. One is a percentage-based match. So that would be essentially maybe you have a board member who's willing to do a one-to-one match. So that would be in the Mighty Cause platform, that would equal 100% match. Or maybe you have a local business who said, I will do a 2-to-1 match. So that would be a 200% match that you'd be entering. So every dollar gets doubled. We also have the ability to do, it's a mouthful, a cumulative threshold match, and that's kind of like a challenge. So that could be an example of a challenge or a cumulative threshold match would be once we raise $500, $500 is unlocked. So it's not going to do a dollar to dollar match up to the $500, but it requires that $500 is raised before the match is released. Or it could be help, we need 25 unique donors before we can unlock $1,000 match. And so there's different ways to set those up. And when you're talking to your matching grant sponsor or sponsors, potentials, you can think about what is what is your strategy or what is your goal with your, presence on Shore Gives 365. If you want to increase, like donors to exposure to your organization who have converted to actually making a donation, maybe you want to set up some type of match that's like a unique donor, X number of unique donors unlocks X number of dollars. And so you're really saying, I just want to get new people out here and make the minimum donation. And it doesn't have to be that we're looking for large donations to unlock a grant. We're just looking for people to donate to unlock a grant. So you'll see, we'll show you in a demo a lot of different options here on the matching grants page. So a lot of it, though, again, is based on what your strategy is. What kind of donor activity are you trying to encourage, and then what kind of community sponsors could you get to help you create these matching grants? I wanted to highlight two things about matching grants, two other things. One is that you can set a specific start and end time for a matching grant. So you could have a matching grant that start and ends on a certain date, or you could have matching grants that you want to queue up one after another. So like you could say, I want this matching grant to go from 12 to 2. I want this matching grant to go from 2 to 5 on a certain day, like Giving Tuesday, for instance. Or you could have the matches, just set them up and have them run concurrently. And that's always an option. You just might expend the dollars that have been pledged for the matching grants more quickly. So we often see people that queue them one after another, so they don't even necessarily have to set a date or set a time, but they just say queue this grant to begin immediately after another grant completes, and then you specify which other match you want to be the preceding match. And once that match is met, then it will automatically make live the next match. And so that's a way to extend the gamification element and extend the impact of the matching grants is to queue them up one after another. You can also set it up by entering your match sponsor's email. Once the match is met, the system can send an email to your matching grant sponsor and say, hey, would you like to make your match? So like the board member pledged $1,000. So the system will send them an email, or you can set it up like this so that it says, hey, so and so, this match has been completed or depleted. To make your matching grant, click this link, and so it'll take them to the platform and process that match online. And so there is a way to do that, but maybe you already have the check in hand, so you wouldn't want to set that up like that. If you say like, I want them to have the option to do that online match, but I'd like to see the email first. You could always enter your email address instead of the matching sponsor's email, and then you would receive it and you could, forward it with a personal message or have the relationship manager forward it with a specific message. So there's some different options there. Um, And I'll show you this, what it looks like on the platform as well. But people often want to know, what does a live match look like? So when someone is on your profile, as I mentioned, over the donate button, there will be a little like a card that shows up and says there's a live match. And if there are multiple matches, it's like a little trio of cards that shows up and means that there are multiple live matches. Also, when you are on the search page, which is at the bottom screenshot on this slide, it shows that donations matched a yellow banner. So that will show up on your organization tile on the search page to show the donor that there is a live match on your organization. There's also a way to search on the organization page to look specifically for organizations that have live matches. Um, and that looks like, so that looks like this. So I'm on the Animal Humane Society. They have a live match, so it shows this donations matched banner. We have the option, as I mentioned, to show donations matched, so to show all organizations that have live matches. We saw when we were looking at the organization profile, but again, there's that tile that the donor first sees. They can click on it. It'll take them to the match area so they can see, what kind of donation do I want to give? What can help them achieve their goal to make this matching grant happen? It will have as much information displayed about the matching grant as you entered when you set it up. So it'll show, if you add the name of the match sponsor, it'll show that. You can add a picture of the matching grant sponsor or a programmatic picture. Um, you can again add that match sponsor name, but if you just want it to be an internal reference, you can just elect to hide it publicly. There's no minimum or maximum amount that you can add as a matching grant. You can title the matching grant. You can, as I said, queue them to begin one after another. So you could have a matching grant that begins after this $10,000 grant is depleted. You can have your like one-to-one 100% match. You could have your cumulative threshold match where, a certain quantity of donations received unlocks the dollars. You can get more even in depth and say have a minimum donation amount that's required before the match is applied. You can elect to include offline or only online donations. There's a lot of options here, but you don't have to worry about understanding all of it or right at the front. Because again, our support team, support@mightycause.com, they are always happy to help you devise your matching grant strategy about how to enter it and how to get the results you're looking for. Let's see. So we have the support team, which I mentioned is support@mightycause.com. You can also, sorry about that, you can call Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This 202 number will get you to the support team. We also have two different support libraries, support.mightycause.com and mightycause.com guide, which has more like blog articles, reference material. The support.mightycause.com has a lot of how-to, so how to add a matching grant, how to create a peer-to-peer fundraiser, items like that. So that quickly wanting to touch on a variety of different things that might be of interest to you as you're exploring your presence on the ShoreGives 365 platform. We just wanted to go through a few of those like branding and storytelling moments, and also how to steward your donors well with that donation form and thank you page, and then also how to leverage, a pledge from a board member or something like that with the use of a matching grant, because matching grants don't have to just be like an event focused thing. It doesn't have to be, like for all donations on a certain day. You could have a match that applies throughout the year, and you're like, oh, we got a $5,000 match for any donations that come in during 2026, and so you can set that up like that. Lauren, I know that you've been getting more questions in the chat. Should we jump over to those?
So we don't have a lot of questions in the chat. We did just get one. When are you looking for this to go live? And it is live now. But if you're not registered yet, we are letting people know that we're going to be kicking off at our annual meeting, just kind of like a big, like a hard launch at the annual meeting. And we're going to have some incentives that we're not giving details, but we're going to have some incentives. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to be there for that, then you do want to get registered and approved, which means finishing your to-do list by November 3rd, which will give us time to make sure we have time to approve it before the annual meeting on November 7th. So like I said, it's live now, it's accepting donations now. But if you haven't registered, you want to get on there by at least by November 3rd to be part of that incentive. And I had, before we open it up for other questions, I wanted to see, there's two things. One, could you show people how to add admin users, please?
Yes, absolutely. So to add an admin user, you will come to your dashboard. Let me just collapse all these. It's getting kind of long. You will come down to settings. You go to admins, and this is I'm seeing because I'm Mighty Cause logged in. This is where we can see at a quick glance people that are requesting access to a specific organization. But you will just come up here to add an admin, and you'll need to enter a first and last name. You'll need to enter an email, a role, which really is just admin. Um, you won't see this purple. That's a Mighty Cause, just specific user. And this is where on that to-do list, there was a mark an admin as a lead contact. This is where you can mark one or multiple people as a lead contact for your organization. But yeah, admin users are come to settings, go to admins, and then add an admin.
Thank you. I had a
Yes.
question in email about that.
Okay.
And we just did get another question. Do you have an example of an organization using the matching grant queue feature? I'm curious which kinds of matching grant queued another one and how that was executed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, it could, I've seen, let's see, so it might be that, I mean, $10,000 is a large match. So for this example, but you might have like a 500, I've seen it like there's a $500 match. It's 1-to-1. So as $500 comes in, it's matched. But then when it's over, it it's like you're like, okay, there's not a live match anymore. And so you might have acquired another board member or another company, local company that said, we'll give you $750 and we can like unlock that once 10 unique donors come in. And so you could just queue that second one to occur after the first one. So it doesn't have to be a certain type of match that cues another. It could really be any match. If you think a match is going to be expended more quickly, maybe you would start out with that one and then queue the other ones up after that. Um,
Yeah, and so if I understand it, it's really just a way to, like you said, extend the gamification. So
yeah,
instead of having all three matches published at once, and then you only have a month of, matching, instead you can drag it out basically by making them
yeah,
back.
exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And one other thing I'd like to point out before we open for questions, the urgent needs option.
Oh,
So
yes.
I just wanted to point out that there's an option to check that you have urgent needs. Um, I'll wait for if MK, if you want to show.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's see, let me go to your dashboard.
And then it's down in the, like towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
It
We don't
shows
have, Yeah, we don't have them. So down here in this summary at the bottom, you can say, you can mark yes or no that you have urgent needs. That is meant to be if you have like a specific urgent need that you're raising for right now. We all have an urgent need for money like all the time, but this is for if you have an urgent need. And if you check that as a yes, please put in the needs section what your urgent needs are. So because that is something that donors can filter by. They can filter when they're searching, they can filter just by organizations that have urgent needs because maybe they're interested in giving to something that's timely and that they can feel the impact right now. So they'll sort by that. And if they go to your page and then they don't see any information, that's not going to be particularly helpful for them. So I just wanted to point out, if you have that checked as a yes, please list your urgent needs in your needs section.
Good point.
Thank you. And other than that, let's open it up. What questions do people have as they've been navigating or thinking about this? Feel free to unmute.
Let me see. I might.
Can they unmute?
I don't think so. I think.
Oh, we're in a webinar. I'm sorry.
Webinar.
You can type your question in the chat.
Yep.
Not seeing any questions. Hold on. So it says, do we wait until November 7th to add the Giving Tuesday campaign? No, you can add, if you're doing a Giving Tuesday campaign, you can add that at any time. That's really up to you and your marketing strategy. When we did Giving Tuesday campaigns, we usually like encouraged kind of ramping that up about 3 weeks before. We're getting more questions now. Okay, hang on. So Kara asked, how does Giving Tuesday relate to this? Will there be matching funds again from CFES donors? This is now, CFES has shifted away from Giving Tuesday to focus on this platform, which you can use for Giving Tuesday. It has the same functionality. You can absolutely use it for that. We'll promote it around that same time, but we're not running our own Giving Tuesday campaign, and this platform is not Giving Tuesday specific. You can, like MK was showing how you can do designations. So you can set up a designation for Giving Tuesday. You can, talk about your Giving Tuesday campaign in your page and then edit it later once Giving Tuesday is over. So like I said, you can use it the same way, but we're not going to be running a campaign in that way like we did before. And we will have some incentives, but it's not going to be. Last year was an anomaly. I know we got everybody very excited last year. That was a one-time thing, but we will be doing things to incentivize our donors to give to you guys. Another question, what is the deadline to go live at the November 3rd? So the annual meeting is November 7th. I'm sorry, I know it's a little confusing having 2 different dates, but we need to make sure we have time to approve, because anybody who is approved by the annual meeting is eligible for the incentives. So we ask that you get registered and approved, so you finish your to-do list by November 3rd, so that we can have you up and running for the annual meeting. Question, will instructions be provided to help us with the setup of our page? So this kind of was that. This webinar is kind of instructions to help you, but there's also a nonprofit resources page that MK is showing right now. So there's a lot of helpful information on there as well. Some steps to completing your profile, how-to guides, that kind of stuff. So check out the resources page, and then you can also rewatch this video when I send out the recording. Carrie asked if we'll still be doing promo, and yes, we will definitely still be doing promo for this program. We have already ads in the works, TV, radio, so we will be doing promo.
Brittany asked if you can start working on campaigns, save them, and come back to finish later. So when you're in your dashboard, you'll see it says fundraising tools campaigns. That really is to like manage the peer-to-peer fundraisers. So you can create a template for.
We're not doing the peer-to-peer fundraisers. I think
maybe they have something different by campaigns.
Yeah, so hold on. Can you start working on campaigns, save it? So I think Brittany, did you mean like start working on setting up the stuff that we were showing and come back to it later? Because if that's what you meant, then yes, you can. Yeah, yes, you can do
Thank
that.
you for clarifying. I realized as I was talking that I had like I had misunderstood what the question was.
Yeah,
Rachel
no,
wants to know if this interfaces with other giving platforms. It doesn't. It does have an embeddable donation form, so you could put like a little mini donation form on your website that will then take you to Shore Gives 365 for the donor to make a donation.
yeah. And Katrine wants to see an example of what a page can look like. That was that. Can you just show, could you show that Animal Humane Society page again, like what it looks like to the public?
Yep.
So,
I mean, I can show you. Let's see. I'm logged in, so it's going to show you this. But I mean, this is what the page looks like. It has the banner image, and then everything on this page is what will show publicly for an organization that elects, that has multimedia, that has matches, that's showcasing, those are campaigns, sorry, that's just for the demo, that has like giving activity showing up. Um, they've used like an image in their about section. On Shore Gives More, we do have a couple of additional elements like the mission statement, the need statement. So those are there. So this is an example though for CFES. They have a very well built out profile, and this is what theirs looks like publicly.
yep. And yes, Katrine, you can edit it how you want. I mean, there's parameters that you have to, there's certain features that are available, but you can manipulate those features to your liking. You can change colors, themes, logos, images, and you can add or not add certain sections. Yep. Somebody else asked, when will there be further tutorial about what CFES will be doing special events that were mentioned in the first of the two sessions? So the kickoff at our annual meeting will be the first and major one of those. So that will be explained at the annual meeting, and then we'll share that information out with all of you afterwards. And then beyond that, we're going to be doing things like highlighting heritage months and promoting, nonprofits for specific heritage months, or highlighting, agency fund holders or things like that. We don't have all of those spelled out necessarily, but the kickoff at the annual meeting will be the first. We have, that's the one that we have the details for currently. And then
Someone had asked if you registered last year, if everything crosses over. So this is a brand new setup. It's a new platform.
right.
And so
So yeah.
you'll need to register your organization and build out your profile on the Shore Gives 365 platform. Someone asked about disbursements throughout the year. So if people are making donations throughout the year, then the if you have EFT, if you set up your EFT information and got it approved, then disbursements come out twice a month. If you get donations throughout the year and you did not set up EFT, you'll get a paper check and those get issued once a month.
Any others?
Someone asked if there are graphics available for promoting it. I believe on the nonprofit resource page, we have this scroll down to the nonprofit toolkit and you will see um,
So
more to come.
yeah, so we've linked some for Giving Tuesday specifically. We've linked some of the existing things. So Mighty Cause had some toolkit items, and then the National Giving Tuesday website has graphics and resources. We'll be building, we'll add to this over time. We'll try to get some things up before Giving Tuesday, and then we'll continue to add to that over time. But there are some things available for right now too. Did we miss any questions, or are there any more?
Someone said that, can I change the look or is it pretty set up already? The the layout, I mean, depending on whether you include sections or not, will look slightly different. But as far as Like, does it always have a banner image at the top? Is the logo always centered, offset on it? You know, underneath that, does it always say the organization name? That is a set like display. Yes, the Mighty Cause developers and UI team worked really hard to make this especially responsive on mobile. So as you're doing, whether it's customizing your profile or doing some of your to-do list items, you can do those all on your phone. You don't have to be sitting at your laptop in order to make changes and to manage your campaign or to manage your profile.
Thanks, Carrie.
We're excited to work with your community.
Yeah, thank you, MK.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Judy, I see you raised your hand and I can't let you talk because I'm in a webinar, but did you have I can allow you to talk. Did you have a question?
I see Judy. Can she unmute?
I didn't. I apparently there's an allowed to talk option, so I clicked that. She would just need to unmute herself.
Yep. Maybe there was not a question. It might have been inadvertent.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions before we hop off? If not, you've got some contacts there, and I'll send out the recording and the slides. Right? Are you gonna share the slides with me, MK?
I'd be happy to, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, MK, so much for putting this together.
Thank you, Lauren. And thanks for everyone for being engaged and wanting to participate on the SureGives 365 platform. We're excited for it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're excited to get started.
All right.
Heather, we'll be sending out if anybody needs a link to where to register, it's suregives365.org.
Yes, and you would just click in the upper right-hand corner, login.
Yep. There you go. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.